Welcome to the Redvee TV Instant Fan Reaction, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2020 season, following St Helens' 8-4 victory over the Wigan Warriors in tonight's grand final. Glad to say I've been joined by Kev live from the Totally Wicked Stadium. Kev, what do you think about that one?
What a final, eh? What a final. In fact, the big comeback. You can't get rid of me that easily. How are we?
Good evening, Kevin. Let's just sit here and snigger.
Yeah.
It was never really enough, was it?
No, you know what? I thought we had good periods of the game where we had the ball and were pushing. I think if we're going to be ultra critical, fourth and fifth tackle options weren't the best. I thought, but to be honest, we had all the territory. We had kept the pressure on, made them get through a lot of tackles, and ultimately deserved it. But who cares?
So I don't really know what to say. It's like, is that just relegated wide to west into second place as the greatest try we've ever scored?
Possibly. What we calling it, Mac to Jack?
Copyright that one, Kevin. Oh, do you know what? For 80 minutes, I never really felt that game was in doubt whatsoever. I felt we always had it won. Didn't feel like Wigan threatened us at all. The most nerve-wracking 80 minutes of rugby I've ever seen in my life. And then it got good after the hooter had gone. Oh, hang on, we've got somebody joining us tonight. Sharon. No, it's not. It's Peter.
Gentlemen, I have 3 words. Do you know what those 3 words are? Saints by 4. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Is that why we declined the kick then, Peter?
Yeah, I had a word with my fellow Scotsman. Wow. You find me in unusual territory of being almost lost for words. What a final. What a final that was, my goodness. I was reminded today by a good friend of mine and contributor to Redvee, Neil Connolly, said, the last time we had Wigan in the final with the home semi against Catalan, and the last time we went back-to-back was 20 years ago, and we beat Wigan in the final. So the omens were there, but we had to do it, and do it the hard way, did we ever? My goodness me, what an incredible game. I don't think any of us could have predicted it would be quite so close.
Hang on, Peter. Late breaking interruption. That's not me.
Go on.
It's not me.
It's not you.
Who is it? Who is it?
Ooh. Fantastic.
Kiss. Good night, love you.
Can I have a kiss, Kev?
Boys, we've had Kev's beat you to it. He's copyrighted it. We've gone from wide to west to Mac to Jack.
Oh, Kev,
but he thinks he's got it, but I've already tweeted it out, so I'm claiming it.
No, that's nice.
Fine.
And can I just say, it's this cardboard, Kev. That's not right. That's not fair. What a magnificent task, may I say?
Thank you. It's terrible.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and it's fantastic to see you as well, my good friend.
Dave,
right, let's talk the game a little bit.
Dave, before we start with the talking the game, can I come in?
Go on.
I want to say 2 things. First thing is I'm so glad that all 34 players have come off that pitch tonight, safe, healthy, going home to the families, to the kids, to the loved ones. Secondly, I want to say, because this is an emotional night, I've cried so many times already, I'm probably crying on the call.
You and me both.
To see Kev on the call, mate, you know how much I think about you and how much I care about you. And to see you with us celebrating what is the most remarkable of events in the most remarkable of years. My heart, my prayers, my thoughts have been with you and with Emma for this whole period that you've not been with us. I love you to bits. I think you're a fantastic bloke. I've missed you. I'm so, so happy that you've seen us do what we've done tonight and you're here with us to talk about it. Get in. What? Come on, you say.
Cheers, mate. Dave, wrap it up now. I've been spoken about in glowing terms for once. So
Adrian you can't cry. Adrian Lamb's used all the tissues.
Stop it. Come on, let's have some dignity, Dave. Let's have some dignity.
There's no dignity after the tweets that have been coming in. After the tweets of the last few weeks, do you know what?
Well, we're the bigger people. Do you know what? Humanity produces all sorts of people. It produces small people, it produces people with integrity, and it produces people like us, and we're the bigger people. Tonight, that game of rugby is the best game of rugby league I have watched since I watched England beat Tonga 20 points to 18. Hands down, that was an awesome game, undescribable. Yep. That tonight was just crazy, off the scale.
Okay,
brilliant. And let's not wallow in their defeat.
Start off from the beginning. Obviously, Wigan came out, first couple of sets, took James Bentley's head off, took James Graham off the ball to try and put him out of the game. It never succeeded. First half, absolutely nothing in it. End to end, Wigan started like they finished, finished the half like they started it, with a bit more grub to give us a 2-point lead. Probably should have seen yellow, never did, but we went in with that half-time lead. Real tough first half. The best I can say for Wigan is I thought they were going to tie it in that game, and they never did. Kev?
I thought.
As well. You've summed it up. You know what? I don't care. We won. But you've summed it up well. There. Listen. Was the referee under a bit of pressure after taking the last 6 Wigan games? I don't think he had necessarily a bad game. There are decisions, obviously, that you've just brought up there.
Wasn't under a bit of pressure, pal. He was under a lot of pressure.
But that 2 points was a just lead. I think, as I said before the boys joined us, we had the possession, we had the pressure. We just didn't quite click on our last couple of tackles play. Which was disappointing. A couple of the kicks were a little bit straight to the full back and straight to the wingers and not really stuff that you can really have a chance with attacking. But I think we deserved a half-time lead. It was a shame that it wasn't a bit bigger.
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with that. I mean, I'll give Wigan huge credit for the way they defended. I don't want to focus on Chris Kendall. I think by and large he had a good game. I think with some of the high shots, particularly on Jama, he could have got a lot of help from his touch judges, perhaps even Ben Thaler. His video ref could have intervened. But listen, he didn't do anything wrong. Thaler, I thought he handled the game pretty well, all things considered. Unbelievable first half for both teams. I've got to credit Wigan because 2 or 3 times we could have been over. However, the best bit of defence was us stopping, I think it was Zach Hardacre going over, pulling them up over the line. Yeah. So that's as important, and possibly even more important, because that would have been a psychological shift in their favour.
Do you know what, Peter? I thought we were inches away in stopping that try from knees to the head. We were very close and we got away with it. Obviously, he didn't, but it's a game of inches, isn't it?
It certainly is tonight. Yeah, goodness me.
Second half, Wigan go in the lead 4-2. We get that penalty from that really bad Jackson Hastings high shot.
Yeah.
Level it up.
Right in the nipple.
Yeah.
Right on the nipple. Terrible.
But do you know what? Adrian Lamb got Coach of the Year. I'm going to call it and say I think he cost Wigan the game tonight. Because when Wigan get that penalty with a minute 20 to go and they're nearly 50 out, you just kick long into the corner and you've got 5 tackles in front of the sticks to set up the drop goal. Especially after you've just watched the boot of Zach. We've had the hand of God, we'll have the boot of Zach. He's already missed one, hitting the bar. So you don't fancy him from that distance. I didn't fancy him. I knew he was going to miss.
Yeah, I was the same. I thought that.
I'm having a drink.
I'm glad you guys had confidence. I'm glad you guys had confidence. I just envisaged it going over, and that was us.
He wins the game.
Beaten, but
if they kick for the corner and go for the drop goal, they win the game 5-4. They went for the 2.
But they didn't, and we've just had the best end to a rugby league game ever known to man. And honestly, viewers, put in your comments below. Has there been a better end to any rugby league game ever than that?
I think that actually blows wide away. It blows it out of the water.
Yeah,
because of the importance of it. I mean, wide to west will always be important, have a special place in our hearts. But goodness me,
for me, you'll go David Rigby. There's one for your bingo. For me, David Rigby. We need to talk about the setup for our last play on the hooter. Obviously, Tommy Makeston's dropped back. He's seen Jack Wellsby out the corner of his eye. And then sets up a perfect assist for him.
Dave, stop it, mate. Come on, stop it.
You see, I was going to talk about the difference between plays with like Zach Hardacre going for the 2 from that far out instead of pumping it into the corner and going for the drop goal. Lachlan Coote had an opportunity to go for 2 and decided he was too far out. And obviously that decision wins the game, ultimately. They all add up. And now obviously, we're going for very, very final plays, hitting it off the bar, making it
Can I just get Mrs. Cunningham on Redvee TV?
Pushed out the way.
She's being shy. Come on. Kev's here. Come say hello to Kev at least. Come on. Yeah, you have to come and say hello to Kev.
Mrs. Cunningham, come and tell us how much money's Kev's won you this year.
You're the most beautiful Mrs. Cunningham I've ever met. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Mrs. Cunningham.
Hi, Mrs.
Cunningham.
Mrs. Cunningham, how'd you pull up with him?
I don't normally. He's normally in the pub or at the rugby, so.
Must be killing you having him at home.
Yeah. What's it like to be able to get a word in edgeways, Mrs. Cunningham? Is it nice to be able to speak?
She can't speak. She can't speak.
What? Answer my question.
Okay, Mrs. Cunningham, off you go. That's not. I don't know. Why can't we get a conversion?
We know who wears the trousers in that house, and it isn't Kev. Right.
I'll tell you what. I'll ask it now. Dave, when Wellsby scored, what happened with the conversion?
We didn't take it. So
check this out. I know people who won a lot of money because they were on Staines 6-10.
We've just been saying that.
What, so they just didn't kick it?
Just didn't kick it. We couldn't be bothered.
That was a question from our friend Jill O'Brien.
But
Kev, they watched me last night say Saints by 4 on here and thought, well, get this. Make sure the Scottish guy's right for once.
Did you say Saints by 4?
Last night, yeah.
I haven't seen it trending on Twitter like my 46 last week.
Well, obviously not, because I'm not as popular as your good self, obviously. What can I say?
Kev Pender.
Which one?
Oh, Kev, he's back. Kev Pender.
Big Kev.
Yes.
This evening, back-to-back champions, first time in 20 years, essentially. Have that side now wrote themselves into the history books and become not just a one-off team, but a great team.
Yeah, definitely. I think I said during the game sometimes when it comes to the finals, Saints do. Well, we had the terrible running grand finals where we choked when we got to the big day. But this team has ground out another win. Completely different final to last year that we were expected to win and expected to win comfortably, and we did. So yeah, they should have. Listen, that team should go down as one of the great teams. It might not go down as the greatest ever this season, with it being a bit of a truncated year and things just being ever so slightly different, no fans in there and everything like that. But yeah, it should go down as one of the good teams because, listen, back-to-back champions. Great feeling in the morning, that, isn't it?
You're so eloquent and so sophisticated. I've missed you. Hands up if you've missed Kev. Hands up if you've missed Kev.
I'll take my hand back down then. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. But
James Graham this evening playing his last game. You could see how much it meant to him. Everton have just tweeted him to say congratulations to Massive Blue James Graham on a superb
career. Stop talking about Everton.
The perfect ending. Enjoy retirement, James.
Oh man. I mean, I had kind of moist eyes anyways. When you see Jam on the telly, a tough guy like that, ball in his eyes, I was gone. It was. I'm particularly pleased for him. We spoke about this last night. It'd be great to sign him off with the winner's ring that he deserved. No more jokes about rings, incidentally, Dave. Let's leave that one there. But it was fantastic. Absolutely, I'm made up for him. I really, really am. Zeb as well. Obviously, he revealed after the game that he's retiring as well. So, sending him off his final game, and what a way to exit. And Dancing Dom as well. You'd be pleased he had a good impact. KFC,
brilliant.
Doing his thing. Brilliant.
Great game. But let's talk about the man of the moment, Jack Wellsby.
Jack Wellsby.
What a chase. What an endeavour.
Anticipation.
What an effort. What a commitment. What a performance. Because, listen, I'm not just talking about his match-winning try. There were first 14 minutes, he did. I said it on the preview show, it came to fruition. I should start making notes to talk about minutes. And he shielded for Gray to catch it comfortably. Yeah. Grace broke out. He's been involved defensively. He absolutely pinged Bevan French. Bevan French is this like Ben Barber superstar, great, and he is a superstar, no doubt. But Jack Wellsby's pinged him 3 times tonight and gone like one-on-one tackle, wrestled him to the ground, pinned him, play it. You're not getting past me. Then goes and does that. That boy tonight has made himself 20 or 30 grand extra in the next contract he gets at least.
You know what? I'm not having it about Bevan French.
Davy's classed up.
Doesn't do it in the big games. He hasn't done it in the big games. And tonight, he stood there and watched the ball hit the bar go back over his head, and the try was his fault.
All right. I agree with that, but he's a class player and he's capable.
Okay.
You're on about it being a game of inches. It could actually have been. You're saying Bevan French cost Wigan the game. In terms of inches, it could have been Theo that cost Saints the game. Fell into when the set where Wigan scored, where we didn't make many metres. Kick was charged down. He dropped it. They scored. Then he gave away the penalty. Yeah. If Hardaker kicks it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the offside wasn't offside. How can he clearly call that as an offside? If football have got the VAR lines, why can't rugby have that? The same cameras.
The point obviously I was making that it could have been Theo. People, Saints fans would have been giving him pelters. They would have been. In French, I think he was too busy watching it, but he didn't react once it hit the post. And I was the last 10 minutes I was pacing the living room, and when I hit the post, I was like that. And there's that's bouncing, and I reacted quicker than Bevan French, which I didn't expect to do. But he is a class act. There's no doubt about it, and he will be feeling filthy tonight.
You're a lot older than Bevan French as well.
I'm a lot older than a lot of people. Yeah, that's very, very true.
Kept gone.
There's always going to be someone, but you know something? I couldn't care less about Bevan French's mood tonight. We're all absolutely elated, exhausted probably as well. You guys have gone through the ringer the same as me. But I'm absolutely gone.
One thing we've not mentioned, the game turns if Zach Hardaker converts the try as well. If that ball bounces over the bar, we're not hitting a drop goal to win the game. So Zach Hardaker, he couldn't boot it in the game at the Totally Wicked, and he carried it on tonight. And you have to say, he might hang up his kicking boots after that one.
There's an argument about that game and Zach Hardaker's influence. And sorry, Kev, if you were going to come in. that's the kind of game when you watch it back, you're still a bit nervous. Even though you know what happens, you still feel a bit nervous, isn't it? It's that kind of game. And do you know what? His kick was bang on to, I think it hit the absolute middle of the upright as well.
Yeah.
It just didn't have the legs. And then his second one was a bit wide. Shame.
Listen,
but anyway,
after the drop goal, when Tommy Mack's kick bounces off the post, hits the floor and bounces over the sticks, I think that should be a drop goal anyway.
Well, do you know what? I actually thought the same thing. I was thinking, is there a rule around that? Because the ball has left his foot and eventually has gone over the crossbar. What is the rule?
It'd be like
right to raise that.
Kev, come in, be the voice of reason.
So what you could do is claim a drop goal to grubber kick, and then all of a sudden he goes to and just kicks over 1 pointer, sir. 1 pointer. What? This is what happens when I leave this for a good couple of weeks.
Or when I have 14 of these. Or when I have 14 of these.
Yeah. I always knew the corona would get him, but not in that way. Not in that one. Shocking,
do you know what? I'm going to be unbearable on Twitter this weekend.
No,
we'll look forward to it. We'll look forward to it.
Let's have some dignity. Let's win as champions. All the players have come off the pitch with their health intact.
Yeah.
It's been a tough season. It's been a tough year.
But this weekend, I am #never going to stop.
Well, we're never going to stop. Yeah. But we need to. Me now, 21, Challenge Cup at Wembley. Middle of July, I want to be in Wembley with you lot, watching us lift that Challenge Cup. That's what I want.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
And so does every other Saints fan, because when we went on that run, when we went there 6, 7, and we won those 2, and we were the best side in the comp, and to be where we are now and not won it for that long, I want that. And the asterisk next to our name will be really, really small. And I'd actually already produced at work today a champions with font size 6, but the asterisk was font size 48. And a champions font size 48 with the asterisk 6. What's that? I can't see it. Is that in the change? Is that Saints in the changing rooms?
Hated, adored, never ignored.
Well, listen. But you know what? For me, they're better than Warrington fans. They'll talk rugby league, proper rugby league. They're not deluded. They don't have preconceived ideas. They know the game. They've been around the game a long time. They've been a very successful club. They're going to be a very successful club going forward. 2022 is their 150th year. They've recruited really, really well for next season, and I say that with a bit of a. They've recruited really well next year. So have we. Warrington have got English, and I'm sure we'll have preview shows ahead of next season. Warrington have got English, but you close one season, you start to look straight to the other. And Wigan Warriors Rugby League Club are a great, great club, and they've provided the other half of a great, great final. What might go down as the best ever final? Kev, come on.
It's not cherry and white TV. It's not cherry and white TV. You've got a lot to learn.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Not interested. Talk about the champions.
He's been muted.
Yeah, but him up. Yeah, because if Wigan had won, they wouldn't be giving us a moment of time. They wouldn't be giving us a moment of their time if Wigan had won it on their cherry and white show and message boards and whatnot.
Would you like to be unmuted, Kevin? Play nice.
There we go. Is that him back? Oh, he's still muted.
Can't unmute you. Hang on now, there you go. You back?
Oh, yep.
Kev, talk.
Let's recognise the game as being a great game.
Hey, there he is. No,
right, Mr. Pender. Hashtag Wolf out. What were we saying? What were we saying after the Cass game in March?
It was ridiculous that people were saying that he should be sacked. that early. You've got to give a coach time. He's going to have more of his own players in the team next year. I think, dare I say, we were proved right for this year. I know the future can change, but you know what? Proved right. Let's take that. Happy days.
Absolutely.
If our fans can't trust Mike Rush, Kev, Dave and Pete, if our fans can't trust Mike Rush after what he did with Barber and what he did with Albrook, they're deluded. Yeah. He doesn't make bad decisions. He's an intelligent, diligent, very astute man. He's a businessman. He works with him and McManus. He is a clever bloke and he makes good decisions, both in recruitment of players and in recruitment of managers. Christian Wolff will go on to guide Tonga to consolidate their place as one of the top 4 teams in the world next year, and to consolidate Saints as the best team in Super League next year, because we all want the treble or the quadruple if 2022 World Club Challenge happens.
Is it right to say Mike Rush, he's essentially becoming a legend of the club? I know we all talk about Eamon McManus and everything he does for us and all the rest of the board, but on a daily basis, Mike Rush is running this club and he's now starting to build a dynasty. The way we bring the youth through, the recruitment, the choice of coaches, back-to-back champions for the first time in 20 years, you've got to hand it to the man. He's doing a fantastic job and we'd be lost without him.
I think the DNA of the club is always, like we talk about the recruitment and the academy and stuff, that's always been there. What Mike Rush has done is he's continued that, but he's tapped into excellent recruitment externally by way of players. Because at the end of the day, it's like any job. You're a staff member in your job. Lachlan Klutz is a staff member at Saints. It is what it is. We see these blokes as like superstars and like the best thing that ever happened to us and whatever. But at the end of the day, they've all got a staff number on a system somewhere with a salary attached to him. And what Mike Rush has done is he's continued that youth development, which will always continue through our club. And that's credit to him and McManus, really, because he's the long stay, isn't he? He's the one who's been there all that time. And Albrook's come in and done his bit, and now Wolf's come in and he's doing his bit. But you're right. And he gets, I mean, when he took over the team as the coach, he got a lot of stick. And I think that sometimes probably waters down the credit he deserves now. I mean, I've seen Mike loads of times at like dance competitions. His daughter, my daughter, dancing like the same team and whatever.
What are you going to say? Rushy was dancing then?
No, well, that was afterwards when we won, but I won't talk about that. I promised I wouldn't. But you know what? He's a lovely bloke. He's dead down to earth. He's got what I call St Helens values. I work in Manchester, and Manchester people have a slightly different way of working than I do. And I'll always hold myself as I'm from St Helens. I've been brought up in a certain way, and I've got my values, as have you. Peter's obviously slightly different because he's from a different place, but that's fine. But Mike Rush, he's saying something through, and he knows our town and our culture and who we are and what we want. Yeah. And he understands that. He's got a level of emotional intelligence that he just gets it. He gets it, and he's done a great job. And you're right, Dave, that he probably doesn't get the credit he deserves. Last year when we had that trophy with us at the Gerrard, and they all had it at the Nelson, that was his idea. And do you know why? To get it into the community. It wasn't just his idea. Justin Albrook said it as well. Mm-hmm. Get that trophy with as many fans as you can, because as many fans see that, you'll sell more season tickets. It's business. Yeah. How it works. And he's a bright bloke, a very bright bloke.
Yeah. Right, I want to say, they mentioned in commentary tonight, one final point about Mike Rush. Mentioned in commentary, I think it was 17 years ago, that he signed James Graham as a youth player. And then the next week he signed James Roby. What a fortnight for Mike Rush that was. You know what I mean? I mean, when you think about that, it's something that wouldn't even have been worthy of mention at the time.
I'm sure his lad's not far off tonight. Either. It was a hat trick. Right, a couple of tweets that are coming in. I won't try and play.
Couple. Only a couple.
Chris Orme, very much. Saints giving Lockers the send-off he deserves, way with the pies. Crutchy saying, thank God for COVID, because without lockdown, Wolf might not have been there, give them a chance to get the team playing how we wanted and get them on the side. And McCormick, back-to-back champions. Somebody called me classless for asking Joe Mills how he is from Wigan. That's just retaliation for the stick he's given us over time. Fair enough. If you want to call me classless, I'm classless on that one. Keith James Walker, we won. What other thoughts do I need? Championes. Saint I Am, don't know what he's on about because I can't see the thread. Matthew Burrows, we need to work on our kicking game. Hashtag Jack Wellsby is Billy Benyon. Cream always rises to stop Crutchy again. Jen Tracy just loves the Saints. Somebody saying it's 1971 all over again. Even Peter's not old enough to remember that one.
Helpful.
Somebody asking Wellsby.
We did mention it in commentary.
People sending me pictures of the drinks. Everton also saying we were unbelievable tonight. See, we're converting these Scousers with stand full of blues the next match. Saints POIC. Adrian Lamb's failure to congratulate the Saints says it all. Saints players give a guard of honour, whereas the Wigan side crying into their beers. David Rigby saying the way we won it meant we even stopped the Wigan walk. Absolutely superb get in from Ryan James Simister. Andy Cardwell, another good blue. An amazing game. Number one. No one could write that script.
He's not a good blue. He was my best mate at school. He is not a good blue.
Andy Cardwell, really good blue. I know. I played footy with Andy when we were like 8 years old. He's a really good blue, and so is his dad, Phil.
Me and Andy Cardwell were 2-on-2 Rugby League champions at Cowley High from 2000, from 1995 to the year 2000.
The lad's an athlete. So. Chris Mack, first Wolf with a Super League trophy ever. I like that tweet.
That is the tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. We're having that from Chris Mack. We like that one. We'll retweet that one out.
Yeah, retweet that. Get that one back out.
Outstanding.
David Powell, best team most of the season and again in this epic game. We didn't create truth, but we hung in there. Saint I Am, remember when Justin Holbrook told us that James Bentley was going to be one for the future just after he signed the shirt launch in 2017. He wasn't wrong, was he? He certainly wasn't.
Dave, can I come in there? James Bentley, rumour has it, has played with 2 broken ribs tonight on injections and padding.
Wow.
Rumour has it, and I know people who know very...
Was this the injury you referred to yesterday?
Rumour has it, James Bentley's playing tonight. In that fashion, what was he on? 61 tackles in 62 minutes.
Unbelievable.
That is frightening. With 2 broken ribs.
Right,
get
Frank
that
Hovis
boy in a cuts. Get that boy in a cuts.
He's ever watched. Louis on the post-match interview to Johnny. Hi, Johnny. And then Alex Romsey with the language. Even we've not swore tonight. Brutally outstanding from both sides, Mark Gandy. Right, we've got 8 minutes 50 left. You've got a minute each, and I'll start with Kev Cunningham.
Absolutely ecstatic. It's been a tough year. It's been really difficult. Rugby League coming back. I went on holiday, so I was in a very good place. Seeing where we started. Put to bed all the stuff about Christian Wolf. He's a great coach. He just needs his time and his own players. Really proud of the way we've developed through the season. We didn't win the League Leaders' Shield because the RFL chose to change the directive. Fine. But do you know what? At the end of the day, the cream always rises to the top. And I'll say all that with my Saints hat on, but here's my human hat. It's a game. It's entertainment. I'm more bothered about people's health, people's wellness, people's well-being, people's mental health. To see Kev back on this call tonight has made me feel really, really warm inside, like from a personal perspective.
I have that effect on people.
You do. You make me feel really warm at the best of times, but tonight, like...
Yeah, that might be just you. You've pissed yourself.
No, it's not.
No, we were doing well.
I'm gonna. He's you banned next season. You've got a 3-game ban.
You've done a small
2021. But you know what, Dave? I'm elated. I think we deserve it because there won't be a Wigan fan who says tonight we don't deserve to win that game. We battered him. Possession, territory, all of that, we battered him. We weren't quite classy enough. Our kicking game wasn't quite classy enough. But guess what? We're Super League champions. 99, 2000, 2019, 2020. There's a trend. Let's go next year. Let's get the 3 bag. And I love you boys. I've had a great time doing all this. I'm going on my off season after tonight, so don't go calling me at 10 to 6 saying, can you do another? Because I'm on my off season now. But when we get back, hopefully Kev's back and I'm only needed at sparse intervals. Right, and Kev, I want one of them t-shirts.
We're going to run out of time on the video. Right, Peter, next.
Well, yeah, just to echo what Kev said, first of all, about player welfare and mental health and everything. I've said it a few times, I'll say it again. It's fantastic for every player, every club, every coach, every staff member that's got the season finished, given everything they've had to contend with. It's to the credit of everyone within the game that we've got to this tonight. And I want to pay tribute to everyone who's had an involvement in it. From a Saints perspective, after the game at Castleford, I don't think any of us thought would be here. But that's sport. Since the restart, we've been absolutely magnificent. The boys have stood up. Christian Wolf has proved himself without any shadow of a doubt. And tonight, I think we have witnessed, without any shadow of a doubt, the best grand final there has ever been. It could have gone either way. It was a proper rugby league match. It was a compelling watch. I am absolutely knackered, emotionally broke. But hey, we've won it. It's absolutely magnificent. And to echo again what Kev said, it's been an absolute pleasure doing this with you guys. Win, lose, or we're going to say draw, but you can't draw, can you? But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope I've made a little bit of a positive contribution. Saints by 4. And yes, it's good to see Kev Pender back, and especially given the circumstances, looking a bit like Michael Checker, the former coach of the Australian Rugby Union team. An absolute ringer. Check that out. But honestly, it's been a fantastic year, and thanks to you guys for having me on. And we'll do it all again in 2021 when we will get Kev's treble.
Kev,
all the best, boys.
Kev, you've got 90 seconds.
Contractually obliged season finishes with a try after the hooter. Best team throughout the league wins it. Champions.
That's what we've missed. That's why they're not 10-minute videos anymore. That's why they're not 10 minutes, because he's just so concise. He's so beautifully concise.
Right,
he's a professional.
This now is where you start seeing the music in the background and another very slow video when men were men and players. I don't know. Do you know what? I think for a lot of this season, for a lot of us, it's not been right. It's not being there, sitting at home watching it week in, week out. It's been nice to have games to watch, but it's not been a real season for me. And Kev's right, a lot of it has been contractually obliged at times. It feels that we're just going through the motions to get to this end stage. I'm really glad we did get to this end stage, considering that finish, and that probably made us all realise why we love this game so much. But
yeah, let me say something there on that. You're right, but I think it could have been a 27-game season, and I think the final would have been the final.
Yeah.
And I think the game tonight would have been the game tonight. So, do you know what? We've ended up where we've ended up, and I don't think that would have changed. All right, look, there'll be fans who'll say, like, bullshine or whatever. You were rubbish first 6 games, blah, 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 blah. Lockdown helped you. So, fine, but the final has ended up the final, and the game has ended up the game. And it was the best game of Rugby League any of us have watched.
It was
100%.
Better than any of the NRL games, better than any of the New South Wales versus Queensland games. That's the best game of Rugby League I've watched in 2 years. Fact. And there's no one from any club can say different. That was unbelievable. And when I watch it back and I know the outcome, I'm still going to be going, oh, God. Oh, what happens here? Oh, do we win? Oh, you know what I mean? And I know the outcome. That's how good it was.
Right, shush. Because I've got 2.5 minutes and the video's going to cut off.
And I need a wee, so hurry up.
But yeah, I think what made me realise that, do you know what, the way we all celebrated probably individually in our houses, it's much better with friends, and hopefully come March time we're all going to be back inside a stadium being able to watch games. I think we probably all realised, given COVID and everything else that's going on, just how valuable life is, how precious things are, and how, do you know what, as much as we're going to give Wigan loads of stick over this weekend, especially me, it is it is just a game, and it puts things in perspective. That said, we are champions, and I think I'll be saying there is a difference between the haves, which is us, and the have-nots, which is Wigan. Again, there is a difference between being champions and being a forgotten team. Wigan who?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, boys, for joining us. It's been tough times this season for obviously a lot of people. But you've really stepped up to the mark and joining us, because I'm not being funny. Nobody would be watching this if it was me on my own every week. Absolutely no chance. So I really appreciate everything you've done to come on and join us and keep the show going. Hopefully,
last comment from me, Emma. At some point, sometime, someday, you're going to watch this. This has all been for you. Love hearts, big loves, love you, love Kev, love all of you. Keep fighting, keep doing it. Love you to bits.
Okay, less than a minute. But yeah, there we are.
Can't say anything better than that.
For all the Saints fans who've watched us throughout the year and support us throughout the year and watch our videos, appreciate it as much as always. And hopefully we're all going to get together soon and have a beer. Champions.
Definitely.
Don't forget to like, share.
Champions,
subscribe.
indeed. Come on, you Saints.
See you later.
Fantastic.